This is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
Regarded as one of the greatest idea sharing platforms in the country and across the globe, Idea Fest 2016 announces the most extensive list of top 50 most promising brands in India that have shown tremendous brand growth with respect to its consumer perception. Idea Fest also brings with it the exciting concepts of PR Petrol, the best of the PR giants, and 21 Young Guns, the New Age Leaders Awards who are reshaping the future of the country.
An award this stature and this scale, it probably is the only one of its kind which is as multimedia as all the WCRC properties are. And that's the topic. Is social media PR more valuable than traditional PR?
PR, the way it's evolved, I think technology has made us evolve accordingly, right? So today we have technology and tools to reach to the consumer or public directly.
I think the starting point really remains content. Once you know what's the content that you want and what's the output from that content that you desire, I think that's where the structure gets defined.
It's a mix of all. See, the content is evolving and that spreads across all the mediums. So whether you look at a traditional side of it or you look at a social side of it.
So figure out where your audience is, what are they talking about your brand, and what's the best way to engage with them, because eventually whatever we all are doing or talking about is essentially to engage with your audience.
PR has become a part of the marketing mix. So as soon as you become a part of the marketing mix, you have to say, what am I bringing onto the table and how is it really impacting your business goals? So it's not anything about saying, I will show your picture in a particular publication, but it's about saying, yes, this is the change I will bring in, this is the customers I may acquire for you, this is the perceptional shift I will bring.
And one of the things that we realized is that PR was changing quite rapidly, and the way that we saw it changing was that it was becoming more not pushing releases but actually creating great content. It was about trying to obtain insights from consumers and stakeholders that brands wanted to get from, and I think that is what propelled us to start Ideosphere. And one of the first things that we did was we set up an insights division even before the PR division, what we were good at, and a lot of brands today are developing their own technology. They develop their own apps, etc., to somehow be in touch with their consumer or their stakeholders, etc. And I think this is where technology plays a role, and I think it's becoming more and more important and imperative that people in PR understand the usage of technology and that they have to move past that traditional scenario.
Client servicing is one aspect of this industry where at every level we've got to be thinking 5 steps ahead of what the client is thinking. How do you really make sure that your campaign includes the best mix of being able to reach out to the audience in a way that's not intrusive, in a way that has an emotional connect with them, is really an area where we need to be ahead of the game. It's after a long time that PR is seeing this opportunity of being able to engage with customers and have really a two-way communication with them. I think technology has a huge role to play even when we are trying to engage with audience, because whether it's Twitter or it's Facebook or it's YouTube, it's all technology.
So no longer are we PRs, but we are communication consultants. And I think that's the evolution that has taken place. You're absolutely right. So I think the way the communication has changed is today the focus is more around a campaign. The focus is more around content. I think content has come back in a big way. Public relations gives people the chance to read somebody else's view about your brand. And it gives you that third-party advocacy which you don't get through advertising. Every consultancy today, in my view, is looking at outside the current industry to hire people. And whether it's creativity, whether it's content writers, whether it's people whether it's engineers. I mean, today to understand a brand, a telecom brand or an IT brand, if you have an engineer in your midst, great, it's even better. So content will play a big role in our industry, and content, when I say content, is not going to be just written content, it will be multimedia content, so videos, visuals, designs, infographics, it will be a mix of all that.
It does not matter whether it's a consumer client or a corporate client. Primarily what matters is what's the end goal and how is it that we will work with the client to deliver something, a proposition that that is interesting to its client, connects back to the client. It becomes intrinsic. I don't think you really go out saying I want a digital approach. It's really, like I said, what's the content? How do you want the consumer to consume it? Which means that today you want to amplify, you have to have a social leg to it. So the first question is, what do you want to do with this and whom do you want this to go out to? What is the output you desire? It kind of gives you a sense of the mix of social and traditional that you want. I don't think it's one against the other.
Before we get on with the panel discussion, we have the Deputy Chief Minister of Goa, Honorable Shri Francis D'Souza, here with us.
You are relevant as far as communication is concerned. When the faster you communicate, the better you communicate, and the best way you communicate means that's how it works out.
If someone starts a company, he starts with a passion, you know. So it is good to start young, but that doesn't mean your passion or things will die off when you grow old.
So turning entrepreneur or starting your own firm, as long as you know there's always you're competent enough to get a job, just nullifies all the risk associated with it.
I don't think that age has anything to do with creativity, whether you're 40, whether you're 50, whether you're 60, 80, 100, whatever your age is, it doesn't matter. Passion is timeless and ageless, so is creativity.
I think what is more important for innovation than age is relevance, how relevant you are to the scene or to what you want to do.
Everything in life which has rules and structures to go with it, maybe school, college, a job, experiences, adds a certain amount of thing which takes away from your creativity.
Let's understand the eyes of a young person versus the eyes of a 40-year-old or a 30-year-old, because I feel both the answers are really correct in their own perspective.
An integrated offering is what is the need of the hour. So people say, oh, I run a digital company, but digital is just a medium, you know. Finally, it's creativity, content, which is at the core of everything that you do. Every day you wake up with a new challenge, but you know that your destiny is in your hands, and I think that is very empowering.
You need to add value. Now, it can be in any form. If there is no value add, that is the number one thing, and the number two thing is initiative. I think both go hand in hand. You can't think, "Arey yaar, today I'll skip office," or I wish it. You have to have initiative, because I know there'll be more work in the beginning, but eventually, people around you watch, your bosses, the artists, the celebrities you work with, and that's how you grow. Value add to your company, to your artist, and initiative.
My message to youngsters would be, firstly, just go out and just try everything. I think in India the problem, as you said, is that initially just when you start out, everybody thinks that doctor banna hai ya engineer banna hai. We are very restrictive that way, and I think that as a mentality you have to change that, and I think the best way to do it is just go and try out different jobs.
People spend so much more time thinking about or trying to be something that they're not, which is where half the problems start. The fact is that there are a lot of people, like younger people, older people alike, who are traveling, looking at different trends, understanding different things and making things their own. So this whole herd mentality, or wearing only what the big brands are making, or just wearing what a celebrity is wearing, is kind of somewhere fading away, and people are looking for their own individuality, which I think is what we need.
I just realized that if you really do want to achieve something and you're really passionate about it comes from within, right? Like, you can't explain it yourself to begin with, because you're just like, I don't really know where this is heading or where it's going to take me. I just know that I'm doing something that I really enjoy doing and I really love doing it, and it makes me feel really good. And I think that as long as I keep doing that and stay true to myself, that I will keep inspiring people along the way, and I'm sure that it'll amount to something in the end. Like, it's already amounting to so much. I'm not even 30, man. Like, I think it's crazy.
So I think being a Miss India, I think many girls would look up to me, and consider me as their role models in this field or in whatever what they want to do in life. So I think it is very important for me to project the person I really am, not be someone else, not try to pretend to be someone else, but be myself and do things in the right way, which empowers women to do something for themselves as well.
And all that it wants, maybe not Bombay, any other place or any other profession, is your consistency, your focus on what you want to do and how much of heart you put in it. And the most important is never giving up, believing in yourself that it will happen no matter what.
Our other guest of honor for the evening, and he also is one of our jury members that helped us put together the list of the awardees for the evening. A big round of applause for Mr. Bobby Pawar.
A lot of the older people who are doing great things, they've held on to their youth in their heads, and they've refused to let all their experiences, all their success, and success is the biggest calcifier of them all, right?
It's a beautiful coffee table book. More importantly, each page of it has our awardees for the evening on it. This is India's Most Promising Brands 2016.
The difficult thing for every entrepreneur is to change as the time passes. You have to learn from your customers, and there is already a huge giant in razor blades who is selling offline, and to get those customers to trust your brand was the biggest challenge for me.
You don't build a brand overnight. You need to toil for it. It's thanks to the Total Armstrong India team who have toiled and serviced the customers. But the greatest, I would say the award is more dedicated to the customers and the stakeholders who have had trust in us, the faith in us to make us come to this level.
We identified that in education finance space, there are no private players as such, and the demand is huge. So to aid that, facilitate it for the Indian students who are having aspirations to go for higher education, we started this company. So we try to see which course student is going for, what is his potential in the future, and if we feel that the course is right for the student, we try to fund that. It took us maybe 2 years time, first 2 years, to establish ourselves in the major markets in the country.
We offered a product that was superior to the existing products in the market, and at an emotional level, the proposition was brought alive with the Quirky Nawab Shock Badi Cheez Hai campaign. Earlier on, we were exploring the dimensions of the emotional space, the Quirky Nawab. Now we're coming to a slightly quality dimensional focus within that same umbrella space.
Great. I mean, I'm very honoured to represent the company. I know there's a lot of hard work that's gone on in the past, and there's going to be a lot of hard work which continues in the future. For 5 years, I think the school is continuing to restructure itself. I think that as globalization occurs, education needs to move with that way. And as a brand, it also needs to understand that education is not just compacted, it's global now. And I think when you look at education and globalization, you have to understand that the skills needed and the market needed needs to be brought into the school. Therefore, I think the school is on a very, very ambitious journey to make sure it's one of the most leading brands in education in Asia.
We are not into gold and other things like semi-precious stones, but I do incorporate some of these in the form of jewelry. It feels good. Well, this is not the first award that I'm receiving, so it does double up my joy. That was a different feeling when it was the first time, and now even as it comes my way as a promising brand, I will definitely try to keep up to what I promised.
Most of the companies who come into pharmaceuticals, they come with antibiotics and all those stuff, and we were the first company probably who had directly come into oncology. Being on the ground, understanding needs of the people, understanding needs of the doctor, and not over-promising and deliver what we promise.
It feels great. Actually, Z Laboratories is one of the fastest growing pharmaceutical company in India, and also it serves our cosmetics and OTC products. So it feels great.
It's a great one to get an award like this, and we are featuring among the India's topmost brands. So excellent event it is here, and it's a real honor. India as a future, it's supposed to be, the 5th largest beauty market by 2025. So I think we are at the right place, coming out with innovative products and doing really well here.
Really feel proud of it, and it's really great. And I would thank WCRC for actually doing the legwork and giving us the true feedback in terms of that how the brand has been liked by the consumers, and it really gives an independent perspective to us.
We can get people who are from the local village area and get them involved during construction or during maintenance of the plant. So the amount of employment that solar energy also generates is significant.
So we are in talks in a certain states with the Gram Panchayats who we can partner, and they can help us implement projects in such rural areas where power itself is a scarce commodity.
We have been doing our best and putting all our efforts, we can't be brand overnight, but we could become brand by, when we do work and when people like you support us and acknowledge us. Yes, it's good, great feeling.
हमारे जो फ्यूचर प्लान थी हैं कि जैसे आंध्र प्रदेश है, साउथ है, जितने भी स्टेट हैं हम लोग कवर करें उसको और अपने ब्रांड को बहुत आगे तक लेके जाएं. अगर हम कस्टमर से जो पैसे लेते हैं उसको हम पूरा माल दे दें उतना, है ना, तो समझ लिए हमारे लिए बहुत ही गर्व की बात है कि उतना माल दे रहे हैं.
अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, और लग रहा है कि इसको और कंटिन्यू रखते हुए और कैसे अच्छी प्रोग्रेस करें, और खाली वेस्टर्न एरियाज सबब नहीं, कैसे उसको और डेवलपमेंट करते हुए सब एरियाज के अंदर में डेवलपमेंट करें.
You need to, what you think, what you do and what you deliver should all go equally. In the sense कि आपने जो planning किया, जो आपने लोगों को दिखाया, बनने के बाद भी वैसा ही दिखना चाहिए.
There's so much scope that we think we've just tapped like 10 to 15% of that, which is still like good for us. But I think there's huge scope.
And the scope is how we calculate the scope is what we want to convert is we want to convert the unorganized sector into an organized sector. We don't want to create a more business. We want to just convert. That
has still not happened for us. So now when we've succeeded, it is through a indigenous mix of market channels, because the traditional market still exists and we have not been able to reach there. But yeah, that's our aim, to actually convert the traditional market, to actually convert the unorganized market into the organized market.
So what is the best part of our company is we have a good networking system. We don't sell product on emails or phone calls. It's 100% on the portal, and people in India now the converting and started appreciating this logistic and supply chain management systems.
We have tried our level best to produce something which is quite palatable, quite delicious, and very easy to cook and handle with. In the coming years, what I see is with more reasonable pricing, I think we would be able to do better, and ultimately food is all about taste and nutrition.
Biggest brands are always built on patient trust and patient acceptability. One thing that we realized was we were growing very fast because people started trusting us with their healthcare needs.
So that was the basic idea of starting up, that we'll make healthcare services available, accessible and affordable for all.
Right from the procurement of raw material till it is dispatched, everything is taken care by us. Yeah, so actually we started with a very clear thought process, and the idea was that we would give best quality products packaged nicely at a price point where substantial mass could afford it.
See, a brand is essentially built by the service, right? So servicing the people, the clients, has become extremely sensitive, and that is some challenge that we keep fighting with every day.
We have placed, we have tried, we have tested our market, acceptance of people, how people are accepting, how they are responding, what the feedbacks we are getting about our brand, about our quality, about our services, and we tried implementing each and every feedback and response from the consumer.
How to set up the brand? We use lots of the time to thinking of that, how to set up the brand here. Okay. Right. So we use lots of the media, and we also cooperate with lots of the local partner to thinking of that, how to promote our brand.
We always take care of the things. The product which we are manufacturing must be as per the quality parameters and requirements of that consumers. Whether we are earning or not, it's not our issue. Our issue that we have to take image of the Kuber in the mind of the consumer.
The biggest challenge that this industry being traditionally very unorganized. So that was the biggest leap we took that, and we succeeded in that to make it very organized.